All still getting there. I can see one, two, the Jeep one for the last well. She's looking down, but pick it up.
Hi everyone, John McLeod from Macbet. Just going to go over how we played Saturday's meeting at Doomben and what we thought were some good runs to follow out of the meeting, as well as the track bias. Interesting day. You can see our bias down the bottom. I thought the inside 3 lanes was probably going to be the best, but not just ahead of the rest. But I think it was probably this was a little, the lanes 1, 2, maybe even 3 were a little bit disadvantaged, and out wide there was an advantage. So we caught cotton onto it even after this first race, but we weren't that confident to really push into it. It did save us on a couple of races. And it pushed us into one in the third race, which we were able to send out on the audio, but we'll talk about that as we go. This first race, you can see the sectionals are pretty bad. They ran 1.3 lengths above average and got home 2.1. So this is not a good 2-year-old open race, and the quality you can see is pretty average. They put a bit of money on Paddy's Fortune, who was coming out of a maiden in town up to here, and started 550, but that just showed that how weak a race this one was. We had One Shy Ruby and Queen Sweeper fairly short here. I wasn't that confident enough to push in. You can see our rating on the race was only a 1 race, which its bet rating really is a low. So we weren't that keen to play here. What I did do is there was a head-to-head with Betfair. The 2 ticks are the 2 horses that were on the head-to-head. It was Bellissimi Amici against Queen Sweeper, and that's the prices they should be in the market. Bellissimi $2 and $2, and that's the prices we have them. So there was a big advantage in Queen Sweeper with our prices. So I finished up throwing 800 on $1.90. So we finished up winning something on a race. If I would have pushed into it fairly hard, Queen Sweeper was big odds around the 550. But as I said, I was a bit concerned. What it did do in this race, horses out wide did make some ground. Real Fine Wine was able to get over the top of Queen Sweeper, Queen Sweeper was able to loom and hold off Real Fine Wine, who got down One Shy Ruby for 2nd place. And even, I think there was another horse out wide that ran on into about 4th position. So it was just showing us that maybe this fence was a little bit off. So coming into this race, I was really concerned with Wapiti being on the fence and Salome being back here. Now, if I totally believe what was going on in the first and the fence was no good, Salome was just a really good bet. You can see with our prices, we got Salome at 330, but if we don't use the map as much, we had it around the $2.10 mark. So what I decided to do was bet in the run, and I just couldn't get on. Everyone sort of must have been wanting to be on Salome, had the same thoughts, and it was very, very hard to get on Salome in the run. So it was a good run. You can see the sectionals weren't fantastic, but it was the way Salome just picked them up. Wapiti went okay. We were tipping out in the morning just because of the run it was going to get. Just going to get 3rd on the fence, get the perfect run, which it did, but just Salome coming to the right part of the track, and not being like a normal Doomben track, it just helped Salome so much. So we stayed out because I couldn't get on Salome in the run, and I probably should have been tumbling into Wapiti the place, because it didn't really matter. You think it'd beat the rest of them, and it did. That was just my thought process was right, but I just couldn't get on Salome, and I probably should have thrown something on Wapiti to place. This next race, there's another one there with a head-to-head. Even like Smart Meteor was able to beat home Man of Sin. Now, there was a little bit of value there in Smart Meteor because it was $2.20 and we had it about $1.40. So that was another little opportunity for us to back Smart Meteor to beat Man of Sin. This next race, after that previous race when Salome came down the outside, I thought, okay, this is beautiful for this race. There's good speed up front in Archer's Paradise, and I've got a Nell, and I thought Spirits of Choice would be ridden for speed here. Piracy had some speed, Hard Stride had some speed, and Phobida and High Fibre are going to be the closers, and they're going to be coming out wide. So I thought this is a really good race. So what I did, I threw 500 on Phobida when it was $4, which I thought was good odds at one stage, and I threw 500 on High Fibre. Now, what the market did was it just kept on blowing Phobida, and I thought this is the perfect horse. So finished up throwing even more on it at the $5. When it got out to $5, and I thought, well, I've got to throw more on High Fibre, so I did that. I was concerned what Cassidy was going to do on this thing because he had the inside gate, and he does look for runs, Cassidy. So, and that's what he did. He should have been coming out, and he didn't. And Phobida Stewart just perfect, just come out in the right part of the track and blew him away. Good Black Booker run, nice horse going forward. He's come back better. His trial was good, and the form that he showed last preparation, that first up run is probably about 3 lengths better than he's ever gone, and the trial did show that. So I think he's a horse to follow, and this was we finished up winning around 3,800 in the race, which was a nice result. Next race, Sea Raider was in the wrong part of the track, so we're worried about it. You can see the sectionals, they went out a little bit fast and they got home slow. So I was thinking, off these sectionals, the horses out wide should have been hitting the line really good. They did, but Starla came along the fence and ran on and did a good job. I was worried about the inside gate at this stage, so I didn't back it. I threw something on Arthur and Charge and Love Express at the good odds, and they made ground out wide. They probably only got beaten about not even a half a length out of second, but Starla did a good job, come along the fence and beating him fairly convincingly, I thought. So we were a little bit wrong with him. I think we had it $13 and it got out to $15. So there was, I could have thrown something on it, but I was really concerned about the 2 gate. So the next race, what do we do here? I didn't want to play in this race at all, but I fell in I just thought Allwood was good odds around the 750 and Chaotic was $5, and I thought these 2 horses might have been the ones just running on in the right part of the track. So I threw 200 on both of them, and they were both good runs, especially Chaotic. I think it's a Black Booker run, ran on against the sectionals. You can see they went out slow and they got home fast. So Chaotic making ground out wide, even though he was in the better part of the track, he's gone good. Eagle Farm, Calandra, one of those 2 tracks. So I want to be on him next time. Probably around stays at around the 2100 metre mark. I think it's a nice bet. So we knocked off 400 there. What are we doing? We're winning 3,100. Coming to the next race, well, I had no idea what to do in this race. I swapped and changed the ratings because of Soxagon and Thigh Kingdom Come. I had Thigh Kingdom Come probably around about $2 and Soxagon about $3 at one stage, and then I wanted to be on Soxagon, like we said on the audio, but I just couldn't find too many holes in Thigh Kingdom Come's run the other day as well. So I finished up betting in the Quinella, and Thigh Kingdom Come, he's gone good. He come out slow and threw his head in the air. He was back second last and ran on in a sectional that they went out about even and got home 5 lengths fast, and he's closed on Soxagon. So the horse has gone really good. Soxagon just had the race that he's keeping pretty much as they jumped. When Thigh Kingdom Come was second last and he was third, just parked in behind the speed Soxagon, that was all over, and he did a good job. But the market, I thought, got it wrong. Soxagon, it got out to around 270, 280 on Betfair, and Thigh Kingdom Come was about $4. I could have actually tumbled into both these, but I thought the Quinella was a lot better. But a lot of horses here they backed, and I just couldn't get them near these 2 horses. And as it turned out, I think Thigh Kingdom Come would have given Soxagon a bit of a race, and they would have gone to the line very close together. And as our market showed, there wasn't a lot of difference between the 2 of them. So that was that race. So we lost something there. We're winning 1,600, but Thigh Kingdom Come, definite horse to follow, as well as Soxagon. You can see the light blue is the the real black book, or the other one is, you know, a solid run. So I think both these horses you can follow, especially at this time of year. The next race, didn't want to play here at all. Just a big query on inquiry whether he'd get the distance or not. You know, we had him favourite over Scalapini, but Scalapini was really short in the morning. It was about 250, 260, and I couldn't get it there. Finished up throwing something on the head-to-head, Twitchy Frank against Chapter and Verse. Thought Twitchy Frank would get a perfect run, and Chapter and Verse needed some luck. So we were a bit lucky there because there was only a breath in it going to the line, and Twitchy Frank was able to hang on. So we were lucky, but I didn't think, I thought Tegan Harrison made a blue early. She pushed out really hard on Twitchy Frank. Now this horse was having a run, first run in 28 days. Just knew inquiry is a horse that's going to lead. She could have come out a little bit slower, parked in second position behind inquiry, and would have got a lot better run than what she finished up doing. And you know, I thought she made a blue. She just didn't know the horses well enough to do that. So that was, we were lucky to hang on and just hang on from. Well, it was lucky Twitchy Frank to hang on to beat Chapter and Verse for the head-to-head. So we finished up winning something there. Next race, the sectionals were fairly slow here, 4.8 lengths slow, and then got home 3.7. Again, Shawnee's come on the better part of the track out wide. So the sectionals, you know, they're saying that the leaders should have won, and they didn't. So it's really pushing me into this fence being no good. Shawnee, horse that we wanted to be on. After I watched it, you know, I thought its run was nice. I said nice run when rode quiet at Rose Hill, but I thought Doomben, slow run race, it's going to need some luck. And as it turned out, the fence being no good, and Baccarat Baby not getting into the position I thought it would be. She was back here, so pretty much if I change the map back to where she was, 3.7, you know, it takes her out to $2-3, which was pretty much the market. And I was wrong with teleplay. That seems wrong. I'll have to check on that. But it was a race where I backed this thing each way, Baccarat Baby. I'll just change that back to what I had it. Yeah, I backed Baccarat Baby each way. I put more on the place because I thought $1.73 in the morning was really good odds in the place. I thought, how can it be beaten out? It hung on, just hung on for third. So we were a bit lucky in that race too, and we finished up winning $95 on it. So it's a miracle in winning that. But Shawnee, I think one to follow, Eagle Farm, Doomben, 2,000 metres, just a really nice horse going forward. Next race, this race we had small bets. We had something on our top shelf, which I thought would be running on, because I thought Parco and our True Blue Tango would run them along here. Pinnacle Star would be first on the scene, and then it's a matter of whether our top shelf was able to get them down. And it was actually left to Love Squirrels to get down Pinnacle Star. You know, so we threw 500 on our top shelf, and what I was lucky enough to do with the head-to-head, again, it was Love Squirrels against Oriental Runner. Now Oriental Runner was going to be on the fence up on the speed, I thought, and Love Squirrel was going to be coming down the right part of the track. So you can see our prices. We had you could get around the $1.60 or around that mark, Love Squirrels, and we had it very short. So I finished up. I only threw 500 on it, which was probably stupid, but it saved us a little bit. We only did $140 on the race. So all in all, I think we won. What did we win? We won around 22% on our money, won 2,200. Black Bookers, Salome just flying this mare. She's going really good, or this filly. Fobita, just a horse to follow, just hit the line hard, nice horse. It's returned in the right, gone good. Then Did It went quite good in this race. It ran on with a couple of horses that are going good in Love Express and Arthur in Charge, and probably was hitting the line just as good as those two, if not better. So I think it's one to follow in a weaker race. Chaotix, you know, staying at the 2100, a bigger track, it'll be hard to beat. These two horses, obviously, they're both going good. And I think that's about all. I know Shawnee going to the bigger track again. And that's it. But we finished up winning. We had had a good day on Friday night, and yesterday there was so many scratchings it wasn't funny. I think we actually just won. We only had 2 bets, I think, about a little bet each way, which run out, and then the other one won. So we might have won something. But anyway, we'll be back this week. We'll see if we can put a couple together, sort of thing. Where first day on a Saturday that we won something, it was totally because of the maps and the bias of this day, just tumbling into that one earlier in race 3 that just really pushed us in the way the track was playing. And you can see how the bias and everything can really change the way we bet, because this finished up our best bet of the whole program, and our units were only throwing in a half a unit on both, but just the way the track was playing it just pushed us in that much. All right, cheers, see ya.